So sad sighing by sycamore tree, sing on a green willow. Her head on her bosom, her head on her knees, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams run by her, and murmur, sing willow, willow, willow. The soft is for thunder and soften the stone, sing willow, willow, willow. Ready, Heidi, you come on, sing all the green willow must be my darling. Let nobody blame in this storm I uproot.
Welcome, everybody, to Season 2 of the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. We have been dark for quite some time, first because of the holidays and then because of a project that I was in. And unfortunately, we'll also be dark the next 2 weekends. But I'm glad to be back for Season 2. I mentioned to the players in an email, and I'll mention to the viewers, I'd like to encourage participation from also audience. I want to encourage people to watch that aren't people that aren't willing to actually play, but still try to make it fun for viewers. And I did want to add, check the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube. I want to encourage people, if you want to do shout outs, obviously not shout literally, but in the comments, if you want to do requests of the stuff you'd like to see that we're not doing, or a special request of a thing about how the next player is going to perform their monologue or their part of the scene. I want to encourage that in the live chat. Just I'll be monitoring that, and if we have a new request, I'll say, okay, we have a new request. But now we're going to add this to the wheel, or we're going to add it to what the next performance is going to do. So just we'll see how that works, though, everybody. I'll see we've got a good participation. Yeah, it looks like and Danielle is trying to get in the room. It's great, it's been so long since we've been able to do this. I was afraid people would forget about it, and I'm glad that nobody has. In fact, we even have so many people that one of them, I can't let more than 10 people into the room at one time. But I will be conscious of the predetermined order. Danielle was texting me. She can't get in right now. What I'll probably do is I'm going to keep track of the order that everyone's supposed to go in. And when it is the turn of somebody that by text me or message me and email me, let me know that you're trying to get in, and I'll know that you're in the waiting room. And I'll when it's your turn, I'll bump somebody out so that you can get in and so you can still participate, because I want as many people participating as are interested. I don't want to exclude anybody. So that said, we'll go ahead and get started. We have our predetermined order. Bill is going to be our first monologue for today. So here's Bill. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Let's bring up Bill to see what Bill is going to do to start us off. Here we go. Monologue wheel. Okay, we're spinning for Bill. Iago, what is he that says I play the villain?
Is that Act 2?
Act 2, Scene 3.
Scene 3. Act 2, Scene 3.
Second, to create your banner. Act 2, Scene 3. It's toward the end of the scene.
Oh yes. Okay.
Okay, you ready to go?
I guess so.
Okay.
And what's he then that says I play the villain? When this advice is free, I give, and I'm honest. trouble to thinking, and indeed the course to win the moor again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements. I lost my place. And then for her, and I lost it again. And then for her to win the moor, or to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sin, his soul is so infettered to her love that she may make, unmake, do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the god with his weak function. How am I then a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course, directly to his good? Divinity of hell, when devils will the blackest sins put on. They do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now, for whilst this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the moor, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she repeals him for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good. She shall undo her credit with the moor, so will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all. See.
Okay, very nice. So that was Bill's. Next up is Elizabeth, and then I am on deck after her. If I saw Danielle messaged us, said that never mind. She said never mind. That's too bad. I didn't want to make her feel unwelcome, because it just I wish StreamYard would let me have more than 10 people in the room at a time. But if anybody else is trying to get in and so forth, just make sure you email me or say it in the so you can't say it in the private chat here because you're not in the room, but make sure you say it in the comment section on YouTube if you're watching, so that you know that, so I know to try to kick somebody out at least temporarily, so I can let you in and everybody that wants to play can play. Anyway, Elizabeth, welcome back. It's your turn. Let's spin for you. Let's see what you're going to do. John of Gaunt, he thinks I am a prophet. So John of Gaunt's dying speech. Richard II, Act 2, Scene 1. Okay, are you ready?
No. Hold
Okay.
on. Okay. All right. Can you see me and hear me?
Yeah, I can. You're good. I can hear you. Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
This is so long. I apologize. Methinks I am a prophet new inspired, and thus expiring do foretell of him. His rash, fierce blaze of riot cannot last, for violent fires soon burn out themselves. Small showers last long, but sudden storms are short. He tires betimes that spurs too fast betimes. With eager feeding food doth choke the feeder. Light vanity, insatiate, cormorant, consuming mean, soon preys upon itself. This royal throne of kings, this sceptered isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden, demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war, this happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in the silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall or as a moat defensive to a house against the envy of less happier lands. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, this nurse, this teeming womb of royal kings, feared by their breed and famous by their birth, renowned for their deeds as far from home for Christian service and true chivalry as is the sepulchre in stubborn Jewry of the world's ransom, blessed Mary's Son. This land of such dear souls, this dear, dear land, dear for her reputation through the world, is now leased out. I die pronouncing it, like to a tenement or pelting farm. England, bound in with the triumphant sea, whose rocky shore beats back the envious siege of watery Neptune, is now bound in with shame, with inky blots and rotten parchment bonds. That England that was wont to conquer others hath made a shameful conquest of itself. Ah, would the scandal would vanish with my life! How happy then were my ensuing death! Thank you.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, John of Gaunt. It's just the Richard II. I've always thought it's one of Shakespeare's most underrated. The whole play is so good, but John of Gaunt is such an interesting. He dies so early, such a small character, and yet such a great character. So many, thinking of great actors, have taken that small. Most people, based on the size of the role, wouldn't want it. But I remember the 1970s BBC version, John Gielgud playing that role, and then Patrick Stewart doing it in The Hollow Crown. Just shows what a great actor and like them and like Elizabeth can do with a small but yet great part. Anyway, it is my turn now, and John is on deck. You will go after me, but first I'm going to spin for myself. Okay, I am going to do... the tennis ball scene from King Hassan. I seem to remember the last time we did this. I think Elizabeth did this one where she did a great job with it, and now, but I've never done it, so it's gonna be a challenge to beat what the way she did it before. I think another one of us has done it before, but I distinctly remember Elizabeth. Okay, let me see. Find that one. Give me a second. Okay. What treasure, uncle? We are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His present and your pains we thank you for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will, in France, by God's grace, play a set, shall strike his father's crown into the hazard. Tell him, he hath made a match with such a wrangler that all the courts of France will be disturbed with chases. And we understand him well, how he comes o'er us with his wilder days, not measuring what use we made of them. We never valued this poor seat of England, and therefore, living hence, did give ourselves to barbarous license, as 'tis ever common, but men are merriest when they are from home. But Tell the Dauphin, I will keep my state, be like a king, and show my sail of greatness, when I do rouse me in my throne of France, that I have laid by my majesty and plotted like a man for working days. But I will rise there with so full of glory that I will dazzle all the eyes of France and strike the Dauphin blind to look on us. And tell the pleasant prince that this mock of his hath turned his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged for the wasteful vengeance that will fly with them. For many 1,000 widows shall this mock out of their dear husbands, mock mothers with their sons, mock castles down, and yet some are unforgotten and unborn that shall have cause to curse the Dauphin's scorn. But this lies all within the will of God, to whom I do appeal, and in whose name tell you, the Dauphin, I am coming on, to venge me as I may, and to put forth my rightful hand in a well-hallowed cause. So get you hence in peace. And tell the Dauphin, his jest will savor but of sallow wit, when thousands weep more than did laugh at it. Convey them with safe conduct. Fare you well. Okay, scene. All right. John is up next. Where are you? There he is. Welcome back, John. And then Brennan is on deck. We'll go after John. Okay, let's see what John's going to do for us. Okay, spinning for John. So we go right from one character, different scene. We're going to do the same character, but an equally powerful, probably a more powerful monologue than the one that I got.
Is this the one you? Oh, brother. Okay.
You got the St. Crispian Day speech.
Okay. Yeah, let me see here. I've got to get a little miss here. Okay.
Act 4, Scene 3. And if you like, I can I'll give you the cue. Oh, that we had one. What is it? Fifth of the men that do no work. 4, Scene 3. And you could. I'll say that. I'll give you that as a cue, and then you can respond to it by launching into the monologue, and I'll take myself out of the stream.
Oh, okay. It is a little behind here. Okay.
It starts. I'll start with Westmoreland. I'll say, "Oh, that we now had here, but 10,000 of those men in England that do no work today," and you'll launch into "What's he that wishes so?" and I'll take myself out of the stream at that point.
Okay, and it's Act 3, Scene.
Act 4, Scene 3. It's near the beginning.
It's beginning with what's he that wishes so?
Yes. You can just start if you want, or if you like, I can give you the cue of Westmoreland's line before that.
Is this the sort of no? This isn't the really famous rah-rah speech. This is something else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is the Band of Brothers speech. About St. Crispin's Day.
Oh, okay. So he is. Okay. Well, I'll just try to work through it. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Go ahead and do Westmoreland, please. That would be fine.
Okay.
And then. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, that we now had here but 10,000 of those men in England that do no work today.
What's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland? No, my fair cousin. If we are mocked to die, we are enow to do our country a loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will. I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. No faith, my coz, wish not a man from England. God's peace. I would not lose so great an honor as one man more, methinks, would share from me for the best hope I have. Oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it. Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named, and rouse him in the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispian. Then he will strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispian's day. Old men forgot, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth in household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good men teach his son, and Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world. But we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that shreds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed were not here, and hold their manhood's chief, whilst any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispian's day.
Hurrah! Okay, great. So next up, we'll see, Brannon is next, and Maggie is on deck. We'll go after her. However, just one thing I mentioned is since we've got a good group with us today, which is great. Usually, we'll say to what I've usually done, or what we decided on late in season one, is that when we have a larger group, we'll take a larger scene that gets like 4 or 5 of us, and then for the remainder, so everybody gets a role, we'll spin for the shorter scenes. And I hadn't talked about that yet, but my idea of a good scene for us to do that would cover 4 of us, and then we'll spin for scenes for the remaining 6. I'm thinking the opening scene of, let me know in the comments if you don't like it. I was thinking maybe the opening scene of As You Like It. We have the 2 brothers, Orlando and Oliver, plus the Charles the wrestler comes in, and then Adam the old man at the beginning, those 4. And then there's a servant, Dennis, comes in and out. We can easily cut him and just we'll skip right to when Charles comes in. That was my thought for the longer scene before the shorter scenes that we spin for. So those 4 roles. Let me know if you don't like that idea, but that's my idea of when we get to the scenes. And just so you guys can be looking at that in advance, that's my tentative idea at this point. So people are prepared when we finish the monologues and start going to the scenes. Anyway, Brannon is up now. And again, Maggie's on deck. Welcome back, Brannon. Oh, what a rogue.
Oh my god.
So Hamlet Act 2, one of them. It's at the very end of one of the longest scenes.
It seemed like, yeah.
It's a very long scene, but scroll so
Way down.
you won't get lost in it if you just know it's at the very end, so you can scroll to the end.
Oh, what? Scene 2, right?
Yes, Act 2, Scene 2.
Okay.
That's too bad. Sheila had just mentioned she has to leave after the monologues. Danielle, if you're still watching, we'd be glad to let you back in. But she did mention she was gonna. She said, "Never mind, I'm gonna go." But I hope if she's still here, just message us in the comments.
I can't find it. What's wrong with me? Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave. It's toward the end.
Yes. Starts with now I am alone.
Oh, okay. I'm looking for the wrong. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage waned? Tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice in his whole function, suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing. Oh, Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba? That he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passions that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech. Make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, the very faculties of eyes and ears, yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, peak like Jonadreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing, no, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life, upon whose a damned feet was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as weak to the lungs? Who dogs me this, Soon as I would take it for it cannot be, for I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the raging kites with this slave's offal. Oh, bloody body villain, remorseful, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Oh, vengeance. What an ass am I. This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father, murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Fie upon it, foe. Oh, about my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, but by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed of their malefications. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father. Before mine uncle, I'll observe his looks. I'll tend him to the quick. If he but flinch, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devils hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent and such spirits, abuses me to damn me, I'll have grounds more relative than this. Oh, the play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. See?
Okay, awesome. So many great monologues for Hamlet. Okay, so we have Maggie's up next, and then Alex, you're on deck. You'll go after Maggie. Where's Maggie? There she is. Okay,
Hi.
Maggie is going to do. We keep getting the same character, and then immediately after do a different great monologue from the same character. So
Hang on. Okay, Act 1, Scene 2.
we have the second of Hamlet's four great soliloquies, and this is the first. Oh, that this too solid flesh.
Act 1, Scene 2. I just have to keep saying that part over. This is after everybody else has left. Okay, yeah, I have it. I have it.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon 'gainst self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world. Fie on't, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, oh, let me not think on't. Fair frailty thy name is, woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets! It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Alex, you're up, and then Ted, you're on deck after Alex. Here's Alex. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And you will be doing Othello, Her Father Loved Me, pleading with the Duke after Barbanchio's challenging the marriage. Okay, let me
Oh, okay.
Act 1, Scene 3.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, you ready to go? Go.
Her father loved me, often invited me, still questioned me the story of my life. From year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed. I ran it through, even from my boyish days to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I spake of most disastrous chances, of moving accidents by flattened field, of hair-breadth escapes in the imminent deadly breach, of being taken by the insolent foe and sold to slavery, of my redemption dance and portents in my travels' history, wherein of Antris, vast and deserts idle, rough quarries, rock and hills whose heads touch heaven, it was my hint to speak. Such was the process. And of the cannibals that each other eat, the anthropophagi, and men whose heads do grow beneath their shoulders. This to hear would Desdemona seriously incline, but still the house affairs would draw her thence, whichever as she could which haste dispatch. She would come again, and with a greedy ear devour up my discourse, which I observing took once a pliant hour, and found good means to draw from her a prayer of earnest heart, that I would all my pilgrimage dilate, whereof my parcels she had something heard, but not intentively. I did consent, and often did beguile her of her tears, when I did speak of some distressful stroke that my youth suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a word of sighs. She swore in faith 'twas strange, 'twas passing strange, 'twas pitiful, 'twas wondrous pitiful. She wished she had not heard it. Yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me and bade me, if I had a friend that loved her, I should but teach him how to tell my story, and that would woo her to her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. Here comes the lady. Let her witness it. And scene.
Okay, very nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I like the comment that who said that? That Shelia made. Yeah, it's different. It shows the softer side of the character when most of the play you see a different side. So it's very Very good. So Ted is up next. Is up now, and Sheila, you're on deck. Okay, welcome, Ted. You're gonna do. Okay, good food. There's a willow talking about.
Mark,
Williams.
I've actually done this before. Am I allowed to?
It's if you've done it before, it's your option. You can choose to do it again if you really want to, or I can spin again. It's up to you.
Could I please ask you to spin again?
Sure.
Thank you.
Camera. Titus begins not so, my lord.
Titus Andronicus 1-1.
Yeah. Begins not so, my lord.
This is a long scene here. I'm looking for her speeches. I see a
Yeah,
couple of
it's
it earlier on.
It's another one of Shakespeare's longest scenes, so it's hard to find stuff.
Yes. Okay.
You got it?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, great. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake for good Lord Titus's innocence and all, whose fury not dissembled speaks his griefs. Then at my suit look graciously on him. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. Be one at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne. Lest then the people and patricians too, upon a just survey, take Titus's part, and so supplant you for ingratitude, which Rome reputes to be a heinous sin. Yield at entreats, and let me alone. I'll find a day to massacre them all, and raise their faction and their family. The cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus, take up this good old man and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown. Scene.
Okay, very nice. So the last two monologues, we have Sheila and Henry are the only two that haven't gone yet. So let's get Sheila in the stream, and then there she is, and then Henry, you'll go as soon as she's done. Okay. Okay, spin up for Sheila. Oh boy, is this dagger ice to the
We've had so many people do this one lately. I'd really like a different scene, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Maybe I
might have even done it recently. It's feels familiar.
I think I was supposed to have retired that from the wheel. I must have stayed on by mistake. Queen Margaret, what were you starting? Richard III, Act 1, Scene 3.
Oh, she and Gloucester are having quite a bicker, aren't they?
What's that?
I said she and Gloucester are having quite a bicker.
Yeah.
I'm going through that. Yes. Okay. All right, I've got it.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat and turn you all your hatred now on me? Did York's dread curse prevail so much with heaven? That Henry's death, my lovely Edward's death, their kingdom's loss, my woeful banishment could all but answer for that peevish brat. Can curses pierce the clouds and enter heaven? Why then give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses, if not by war, by surfeit. Die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward, thy son, which now is Prince of Wales, for Edward, my son, which was Prince of Wales, die in his youth by like untimely violence. Thyself a queen, for me that was a queen, outlive thy glory like my wretched self. Long mayst thou live to wail thy children's loss, and see another, as I see thee now, decked in thy rights, as thou art stalled in mine. Long died thy happy days before thy death, and after many lengthened hours of grief, die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers and Dorset, you were standers by, and so wast thou, Lord Hastings, when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him that none of you may live your natural age, but by some unlooked accident cut off.
Okay, awesome. So lastly, we have Henry, and then we will start our scenes. Henry. We will do spinning for Henry. The porter.
Macbeth 2-3.
2-3, yes. Open beginning of the very beginning of the scene.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Got it? Okay, so
Yep.
whenever, go ahead.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were a porter of Hell Gate, he should have. Old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enow about you here, you'll swear for it. Knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name? Faith, there's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Oh, knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out a French hose. Come in, tailor, here you may roast your goose. Oh, knock, knock, never at quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. Ill devil porter it no further. I had thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, I pray you remember the porter.
I love it. Great. All right. So now we're ready for our scenes. We have and actually, Sheila, you said you had to leave us after the are you not?
Yes,
Not able
yes.
Okay, so we hate to see you go, but we'll see you back in 3 weeks when next time we're able to do this. So thank you for your performance. We'll miss you during the next phase. Take care. So we have the 4 roles, subtracting Dennis, the throwaway part from that opening scene of As You Like It. So we have Orlando, Oliver, Adam, and Charles from that, and we'll spin to get so we need to create roles for 5 more actors. And so the other scenes we'll do will be Othello. We have done this one before, but it's been a long time. It's a good scene. So Amelia and Desdemona from Othello, Act 4, Scene 3. Another one we did before, but it's been a while. Henry V, Act 5, Scene 1. Gower, Fluellen, and Pistol. And that's perfect. That's a 3-character scene, so that takes care of the 5 of us that need another role. So the 9 roles for the 9 of us that we will choose from in reverse order from the order that we performed in. Again, As You Like It, Orlando, Oliver, Adam, and Charles. In Othello, Amelia and Desdemona, and then Gower, Fluellen, and Pistol in Henry V, Act 5, Scene 1. So Henry went last, so he has the first choice of monologues.
Othello, please.
I'm sorry, he has first choice of roles. What would you like?
Othello?
Othello.
Or is it
wait.
just that's just the play?
The scenes from Othello, it's Amelia and Desdemona.
Oh, Desdemona.
Kind of fitting that when I change the intro to include the song that's from this very scene, that comes up. Okay, so Henry is going to be Desdemona. Ted has the next choice.
Yes. Pistol in Henry V.
Pistol, okay. Alex. Alex.
Fluellen from
Fluellen.
Yeah.
Maggie. Where are you, Maggie? There she is.
Hi.
Okay.
I didn't hear who Alex said.
Alex said Fluellen.
Okay. Then I would like to be Amelia.
Amelia. Eleanor just joined us. So give her the next, and that means we're going to have. So as it's a 10th player, we'll add one more option of doing a second monologue. Eleanor, did you hear the roles that are to choose from?
Would you run by again?
And As You Like, actually, The only thing that's actually Gower is left in Henry V, Act 5, Scene 1. Other than that, it's the 4 roles in the opening scene of As You Like It: Orlando, Oliver, Adam, and Charles the Wrestler. And you have the option of doing since you haven't done a monologue at all because you're late. You have that option as well.
Well, I was here at 3 after, and I've been trying to get in ever since.
Oh, you must not have heard. I mentioned because when there were 10 people in, I can't. I have to have the paid version of StreamYard to have more than 10 people in the stream at a time. Danielle was trying to get in too. If you can't get in for that reason, I was saying, and I'll say it again for everybody. If you can't get in for that reason, you won't be able to send me a message in private chat, but you can go to the YouTube link and send a comment. That's what Danielle was doing.
I tried to do that. They wanted me to sign in, and I wasn't able to do that, so I was not able to
comment that way. That way, I'll know someone's in the waiting room, and when it's your turn, I can.
Tried.
I can keep somebody out long enough
there was a special sign-in you had to do to be in the YouTube chat, and I couldn't do it.
Emailing me is another way because I have my phone right by my side. It'll give me a notification. Actually, that was how Danielle initially told me she was trying to get in. So you can do that as well if that's a problem in the future.
Okay, when I tried to get in, it said the host has been informed that someone else is trying to get in. And
actually, I didn't get that note. I got that notification from Danielle. I didn't get it from you. But at this point, if you have any other problems, you can tell me about that in the email. We can talk about it over the next couple weeks before our next show. But we would like to move on at this point. So between doing Gower or doing one of those 4 roles and As You Like It, or doing a monologue, what would you like?
Monologue.
Okay. Got it. So we'll come back to you when it's time for that. Brannon. There she is. Brannon, what would you like?
Orlando?
Does
he take? Yeah.
No, none of you're the first person to take somebody from As You Like It scene. Brannon, then John. Where are you? There he is. John, what would you like?
Could you name the ones that are available for As You Like It, please?
Oliver, Adam, and Charles the Wrestler.
Okay. I think I'll take Oliver. Oliver was the sort of the disinherited son, sort of at the very beginning.
He's the older brother. He's the older brother that got everything, and Orlando. Orlando's the lead, but he's the one that part of his conflict is he was disinherited.
I'll go for Oliver.
Disinherited.
Okay.
Oliver's the older, the mean guy, the mean brother.
I have a choice. I'll take. I'll go ahead and I'll take Charles the Wrestler, and Elizabeth. Elizabeth, what would you like?
What is left?
We have Adam in As You Like It, Gower and Henry V, or doing another. Doing Eleanor took that. So those are the 2 choices: Gower and Henry V, Act 5, or Adam and As You Like It.
Let's try Gower.
Okay, so Elizabeth will be Gower, and that leaves.
What is the act and scene, please? Act and scene for As You Like It, please.
The opening of the play. The very beginning. And again, for clarification purposes, I said it again, there is a 5th character, but you could easily get rid of him. He's just a servant. When Oliver says, hello, Dennis, and Dennis comes in and says, what do you want? And it says, go fetch Charles the Wrestler. We'll just change that instead. He says, hello, Dennis. Oliver will say, "Hello, Charles," and you skip right to just a couple lines ahead where Charles comes in and says, his line. So everybody get that? Oh. So we'll start. It starts with a little monologue from Orlando, which is Brannon and speaking to where is Bill? Bill, did you get that? You're going to be Adam.
I'm going to be Adam. Okay.
Bill, Brannon, John. That's Elizabeth. I had to end a mistake. Okay, so it starts with just Adam and Orlando on stage. So let me take. So Bill. We'll start with Bill and Brannon. Is everybody ready to go as soon as I take myself and John out? Okay. I got to create the banner here. Give me a second. Okay.
As I remember, Adam, it was given upon this fashion bequeathed me by will, but pour 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well, and there begins my sadness. My brother jogs. He knows keep at school, and report speaks goldenly of his prophet. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept, for call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox. His horses are bred better, for besides that, they are fair with their feeding. They are taught their manage, and to that end riders dearly hired, but I, his brother, gain nothing under him but his growth, for the which his animal on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this, nothing that he so plentiful gives me, that the something that nature gave me, his countenance, seems to take from me. He lets me feed with his hands, bars me the place of my brother, and as much as him lies, minds my gentility with my education. That is it, Adam. That grieves me. And the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, I begin to mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it, though yet I know no wise remedy but to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Throw apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed, and be naught a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such puny?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Aye, better than him that I am before knowest me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you, my better, in that you are the firstborn, but the same tradition takes not away my blood, were there 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father in me as you, albeit I confess your coming before me is nearest to his reverence.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother, you're too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that says such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat, till this other hand had pulled out thy tongue for saying so, that thou hast railed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient, for your father's remembrance be at the court.
Let me
Let
go,
me
I say.
go, I say.
I will not. Till I please you, you shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to grieve me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor alacrity my father left me by testament, that I will go by my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, lead me.
Oh, I will no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Oh, get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will physic your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Allah, Dennis.
Good morrow to your worship.
Okay. Was not Charles the Duke Wrestlers here to speak with me?
Skipping to good Monsieur Charles. Good morrow to your worship.
Good, Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues enrich the new duke. Therefore, he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. For the duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile or have died to stay behind her. She is at the court, and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter, and never 2 ladies loved as they do.
Where will the old duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him, and there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day, and bleat the time carelessly as they did in the golden world.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry, I do, sir, and I came to acquaint you with a matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me and try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I would be loath to foil him, as I must for my own honor, if he comes in. Therefore, out of my love to you, I came hither to acquaint you withal, that either you might stay him from his intendment to brook such disgrace, well as he shall run into, in that it is a thing of his own search, and altogether against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and had by underhand means labored to dissuade him from, but he is so resolute. Thou tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best look to it. For if thou dost him any slight disgrace, or if he do not mightily grace himself on thee, he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he hath ta'en thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one young and so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly of him. But should I anatomize him to thee as he is, I must blush and weep, and thou must look pale and wonder.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. If ever he go alone again, I'll never wrestle for prize more. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see the end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled, and yet learned, full of noble device, of all sorts enchantingly beloved, and indeed so much in the heart of the world, and especially of my own people, who best know him, that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither, which thou I'll go about. See.
Okay, that was fun. And I should mention to everybody, I'm sorry if you guys didn't like my choice of what the longer scene was. I had forgotten. I should have that prepared. I should have some ready to go. I had a short list of longer scenes to go with, but we're going to need to talk about it. Every time we have 8 or more people, we'll do a longer scene in addition to the 2 to 3 character ones. We should. I'm going to need to start looking around for what are the longer scenes that we'll do in future games. And if you have suggestions, please shoot them my way via email. Anyway, next up we have our Amelia and Desdemona scene. That's Maggie and Henry. Let's find, where are they? Maggie and Henry. So you two are both ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I am. Are you ready, Desdemona? Desdemona, I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm not speaking. Can you hear me now?
Desdemona? Oh, no, I couldn't
you hear me
couldn't
now?
hear you say you were ready. So, okay. I can. Very well. All right. So Amelia starts. How
Okay.
goes it now? You ready? Okay. How goes it
Yeah.
now? He looks gentler than he did.
He says he will return incontinent. He hath commanded me to go to bed and bade me dismiss you.
Dismiss me?
It was his bidding. Therefore, good Amelia, give me my nightly wearing, and adieu. We must not now displease him.
I would you had never seen him.
So would not I, my love, doth so approve him, that even his stubbornness, his checks, his frowns, prithee unpin me, have grace and favour in them.
I have laid those sheets you bade me on the bed.
All's one. Good faith. How foolish are our minds. If I do die before thee, prithee, shroud me in one of these same sheets.
Come, you talk.
My mother hath a maid called Barbara. She was in love, and he she loved proved mad and did forsake her. She had a song of Willow. An old thing 'twas, but it expressed her fortune, and she died singing it. That song tonight will not go from my mind. I have much to do but go hang my head all on one side and sing it like poor Barbara. Prithee, dispatch.
Shall I go fetch your nightgown?
No, unpin me here. This Lodovico is a proper man.
A very handsome man.
He speaks well.
I know a lady in Venice would have walked barefoot to Palestine for a touch of his nether lip.
The poor soul sat sighing by a sycamore tree. Sing, all a green willow. Her hand on her bosom, her head on her knee. Sing, willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her and murmured her moan. Sing, willow, willow, willow. Her salt tears fell from her and she softened the stones. Lay by these. Sing, willow, willow, willow. Prithee, hie thee, he'll come anon. Sing, all a green willow must be my garland. Let nobody blame him, his scorn I approve. Nay, that's not Dexter. Hark, who is it that knocks?
It's the wind.
Oh. I called my love false love, but what said he then? Sing, willow, willow, willow. If I caught more women, you'll couch with more men. So get thee gone, good night. Arte itch to each. Doth that bode weeping?
'Tis neither here nor there.
I have heard it said so. Oh, these men, dost thou in conscience think? Tell me, Amelia, that there be women who do abuse their husbands in such gross a kind.
There be some such, no question.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
Why, would not you?
No, by this heavenly light.
Nor I by this heavenly light. I might do it as well in the dark.
Well, wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
The world's a huge thing. It is a great price for a small vice.
In truth, I think thou wouldst not.
In troth, I think I should, and undo it when I had done. Marry, I would not do such a thing for a joint ring, nor for measures of lawn, nor for gowns, petticoats, nor caps, nor any pretty exhibition. But for the whole world, why, who would not make her husband a cuckold to make him a monarch? I should venture purgatory for it.
Beshrew me, I would not do such a wrong for the whole world.
Why, the wrong is but a wrong in the world, and having the world for your labor, 'tis a wrong in your own world, and you might quickly make it right.
I do not think there is any such woman.
Yeah. And as many to the vantage that would store the world they played for. But I do think it is their husbands' faults if wives do fall. Say that they slack their duties or pour our treasures into foreign laps, or else break out in peevish jealousies, throwing restraint upon us, or say they strike us, or scant our former, having in despite. Why, we have galls, and though we have some grace, yet have we some revenge. Let husbands know their wives have sense, like them. They see and smell, and have their palates both for sweet and sour, as husbands have. What is it that they do when they change us for others? Is it sport? I think it is. And doth affection breed it? I think it doth. Is frailty that thus errs? It is so, too. And have we not affections, desires for sport and frailty, as men have? Then let them use us well, else let them know the ills we do, their ills instruct us so.
Good night, good night. Heaven me such uses send, not to pick bad from bad, but by bad mend.
Okay, great scene. Okay, So lastly, oh no, not lastly, we have one more scene, then we have Eleanor's monologue, and we have Elizabeth, Alex, and Ted. The Henry V leak fight scene. So let's see. It start. Well, actually, pistol. So you guys are all three of you are ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll let. So pistol hasn't entered yet. So we'll start with it's just Gower and Llewellyn are speaking about what's about to come. So I'll take myself out as soon as I do. Go ahead.
Nay, that's right. But why wear you your leek today? St. Davy's Day is past.
There is occasions and causes why and wherefore in all things. I will tell you as my friend Captain Gower. The rascally, scold's, beggarly, lousy, pragging knave, pistol, which you and yourself and all the world know to be no better than a fellow, look you now, of no merits. He is come to me and brings me bread and salt yesterday, look you, and bid me eat my leek. It was in place where I could not breathe no contention with him, but I will be so bold as to wear it in my cap until I see him once again, and then I will tell him a little piece of my desires.
Why, here he comes, swelling like a turkey cock.
'Tis no matter for his swellings nor his turkey cocks. God bless you, ancient pistol, you scurvy, lousy knave. God bless you.
Ha! Art thou bedlam? Dost thou thirst, base Trojan, to have me fold a Parker's fatal web? Hence, I am qualmish at the smell of leek.
I beseech you heartily, scurvy, lousy knave, at my desires, at my requests, and my petitions, to eat, look you, this leek. Because, look you, you do not love it, nor your affections and your appetites and your digestions too not agree with it. I would desire you to eat it.
Not for Cadwallader and all his goats.
There is one goat for you. Will you be so good, scout knave, as eat it?
Base Trojan, thou shalt die.
You say very true, scout knave, when God's will is. I will desire you to live in the meantime and eat your victuals. Come, there is sauce for it. You called me yesterday mountain squire, but I will make you today a squire of low degree. I pray you, fall to, if you can mock a leek, you can eat a leek. I say, I will make him eat some part of my leek, or I will beat him his pate 4 days. Bite, I pray you. It is good for your green wound and your bloody coxcomb.
Must I bite?
Yes, certainly, and out of doubt, and out of question too, and ambiguities.
By this leek I will most horribly revenge. I eat and eat, I swear.
Eat, I pray you. We will have some more sauce for your leek? There is not enough leek to swear by.
Ah, quiet thy cudgel, thou dost see I eat.
Much good do you, scout knave, heartily. Nay, pray you, throw none away. The skin is good for your broken coxcomb. When you take occasions to see leeks hereafter, I pray you, mock at them. That is all.
Good.
Hey, leeks is good. Hold you, there is a growth to heal your pain.
Me, groat?
Yes, verily, and in truth you shall take it, or I have another leek in my pocket which you shall eat.
I take thy groat in earnest of revenge.
If I owe you anything, I will pay you in cudgels. You shall be a woodmonger and buy nothing of me but cudgels. God be with you and keep you and heal your pain.
Ah, all hell shall stir for this.
Go, go, you are a counterfeit cowardly knave. Will you mock at an ancient tradition begun upon an honorable respect and worn as a memorable trophy of predeceased valor, and dare not avouch in your deeds any of your words? I have seen you gleeking and galling at this gentleman twice or thrice. You thought because he could not speak English in the native garb, he could not therefore handle an English cudgel. You find it otherwise, and henceforth let a Welsh correction teach you a good English condition. Fare ye well.
Doth fortune play the housewife with me now? News have I that my Nell is dead in the spittle of melody of France, and there my rendezvous is quite cut off. Old do I wax, and from my weary limbs honor is cudgelled. Well, board I'll turn, and something lean to cutpurse of quick hand. To England I will steal, and there I'll steal, and patches will I get unto these cudgelled scars, and swear I got them in the Gallia wars.
Okay, that was great scene. You guys, that was awesome. I mean, you guys were hilarious for the way you did that, and Alex having come totally prepared with all the necessary props to make that really come off. And the only downside was my mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize, Elizabeth. I didn't see where I wanted to keep the focus, taking actors in and out when they exit, and wanted the focus to be on Fluellen and Pistol. I didn't realize that you had that line there, and I should have put you back in the stream for that. Except my little mistake of who I put in, that was great. That was hilarious. So we do have one more. We have Eleanor is going to do her monologue now, and let's I can't go back to the monologue wheel from the scene. Here we go. So Eleanor is going to perform. Oh, hospital. Such stuff as dreams are made of. Classic monologue to do. Okay.
One. Okay. I remember doing Prospero's final bit not too long ago.
Yeah, so this is his other great soliloquy, and I put the famous line in it, but that's not what it starts. It starts with "You do look, my son, in a moved sword, as if you were dismayed," and it ends with this classic line.
Okay, let me scroll down. Ah,
got it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go for it.
You do look, my son, in a moved sword, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, ye all which it inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell, and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk, 'tis still my beating mind.
Okay, great. Great performances today, everybody. We got I missed you for a long time because of the holidays and other stuff that came up. It was worth the wait. You guys all made it worth the wait. And unfortunately, we're gonna have more of a wait next time. I have a funeral next weekend and another a day that I'm filming for Green Girl Diaries the following weekend. So 3 weeks from today, unless something else happens to come up, we'll go again with our second show of season 2 of the Wheel of Shakespeare. Thank you, everybody. Remember, 3 weeks from today, and then after that, unless other stuff comes up, every Saturday from that point on, don't miss Wheel of Shakespeare. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys real soon. Bye now.